हेलो डियर। आज हमारा कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स के अंदर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, this is the name of subject. Okay, this is the name of subject, but in this subject we are reading, we are knowing, we are familiar about the English grammar. English grammar. Okay, and dear student, perhaps you know about English grammar. We have read out about the sentence. What is the sentence and how can you find out the sentence? Sentence. Before this class, I told you about how many type of the sentence. You know how many type of the sentence, and we tried to know each and every sentence features. What is the features of the sentences and how can we make a difference between one sentence to other sentence. So this is the topic is clear. Okay, these are the 8 type of the sentence, but now we find out in the sentence has a subject, verb and object. This is the good formation of any sentence. We can say this is the sentence if we find out these words in a line in a sentence. This is the call in a conversation, in a notification, in any details information. When we find out the pattern, this is the called of sentence. In the sentence, we take two or three things. Number one, subject, other is the verb, and other last of the object. This is the first pattern. Second pattern like that, subject and verb. This is other pattern of a sentence. Now in the sentence, the first important thing, what is subject and how can we say this is subject, and what is verb, now which is the method that is find out this is the subject and verb, which is the method, which is the device and tools that we know and can say this is subject and this is verb. So dear student, first of all we start the extra information we know about the subject. When we are ready to know subject, verb and object, then dear students, it is the finest way to search out and comes out the right meanings of any sentence, and we can make a beautiful and make a good writing on this way, that we find out the incorrect way. This is the subject, this is the verb, and this is the object. So it will be have to know that the best way to find out the subject, and we can say sternly this is the subject. So first of all we will have to find out the way that is called the subject. Subject. How many subjects? Dear students, subject has a 5 type of the subject. 5 types of the subject. Number 1, noun. Second is pronoun. Third is infinitive, infinite. Fourth is gerund, and fifth is participle. But in five forms of the subject, only two commonly forms is very famous, noun and pronoun. And after remaining the forms of subject, gerund, infinitive, participle, they are the non-finite verbs forms that is used as a subject, verb, object, anywhere. So after that, the point and topics we will know about infinite, gerund and participle. So first of all, we will know to noun, which is the noun, and how can we find out noun in a subject, and we can say this is the noun. And okay, so dear students, in subject we will read out about the noun, what is noun, and it is a very simple way, that is you have remembered about the noun, because this is the topic come out from the 8th class to up to now. So perhaps you will have to know betterly about the noun. What is noun? It is the simplest way, but the noun has a varied meaning in the grammar. Noun, it is the word of, things, animals, places, and person. This is the noun. It is the word of things, animals, places, and persons. When we find out the name of a person, places, animals, and things in a paragraph, in passage, this is the very simplest way to find out the noun. And we can firmly believe on the words, this is the noun. Okay? But some of articles we confuse the two to know about the noun, to find out the noun. So it is the other information of the noun. This is a very commonly used to find out the noun. Number one. Number two, the capital letter of any word this is the forms of noun. This is the forms of noun. Okay, the capital letter of any word, this is the forms of noun. It is only find out the noun words. It is not indicated toward the categories of the noun. Only indicates to the noun, not the category, not the forms of noun. Why? This is the forms of noun: things, animal, places, and persons. This is the categories information, and this is the nouns information. So, first of all, we find out the noun, and after that we enter into the categories, which is the categories. When our work is completed to find out the noun, after that we search out the category of the noun. So, first thing is to find out the noun. Number one, number two, number three, the other option word, option definitions of the find out the noun. If the if the if any word of any word if any word starts with article, article means a, an, and the. If any word starts with article, this is the noun. This is the noun. These are the two information is very good to find out any noun in a passage, from a passage and from the article. If the word is start with a capital letter, this is the noun. If the word has a article, a and the among one, this is the noun. And after that, we search out the nouns category. The number one is indicated toward the categories: things, animals, places, and persons. But first thing, the find out the way of the noun. Okay. So by these information, we try to find out the noun. This is the noun or other words. Okay. For example, Ram writes a letter. This is a sentence because some of the information is covered in a sentence. In a line, the group of information is called the sentence, and we find out subject, verb, and object. I know to find out the way, so I underline the words. This is the subject and verb and object. But it is not the way to some of person. So we search out the 3 points that is cleared out about the noun. The first letter is capital of the word. Right? The first letter of the word indicates to the noun. It is the noun. Our functions, our work is completed here to find out the noun. This is the noun. Why? Because the first letter is capital. But what is the category of the noun? It is not the way to find out. After that, when we clear out this is the noun, that our chapter is opened to find out the category of the nouns. The categories of the find out the categories of the nouns here need to know much more information of the nouns, about the noun. Then we find out the categories. Okay? But first step to find out the noun. Other is noun. Why? It is not a capital letter here, but the word is start with the article, so the noun. What is the category? It is not the way to find out the noun. It is not to clear out the categories. It is only to find out the noun. By these two tools, we can get up the correct way to find out the noun from any sentence. Okay, here two noun in a sentence. Now, how can we say this is the subject? Depend on our verbs. This is our verbs. Your question is put up here, sir. How can you say this is the verb? My dear students, you will have to know something about the information. If you don't know anything, it is very tough to you. So, some of things you will have to know about it. This is only, you know only verb. After that, your work is finished. But you don't know anything. It is very toughness to find out anything. Before the verb, if the noun comes, call the subject. If the capital letter or start with the article words come before the verbs, called the subject. After the verb, if comes a capital letter or with the article word, called the object. By this way, we can find out the subject and object from a sentence. It's a very simplest way to find out. Okay? Again, we will have to know about other forms of the subjects. But by these examples, perhaps you will have to know betterly how can we find out the subject forms from an article, sentence and passage, and we see the forms of the subjects. Okay, thank you.